72% of our actual electricity generation still comes from coal. Solar and wind, barely 12-13%. Hydro, 10%. Nuclear, less than 3%. So we pledged, we said that we won't generate our electricity using fossil fuels. We said we would rather use non-fossil fuels. It looks all good. Non-fossil is not always clean. Non-fossil does sound attractive, but do you know what it includes? So I ask you, can we call ourselves a renewable energy nation when coal is still the king? So, of late, we have been congratulating ourselves. It's everywhere in the papers and in the media that we have done a lot on our climate goals, specifically in the area of renewable energy generation. We are patting our backs that we have achieved the target of having 50% installed capacity from renewable sources 5 years ahead of schedule. We were supposed to reach there 2030 as per our climate goals and international obligations, but we have done that ahead of time in 2025. Now, why is that significant? Because we are staring at the horrible specter of climate change, and climate change happens due to the accumulation of excess CO2 in the atmosphere, and that excess CO2 is released not due to natural reasons but because of man-made reasons. So this is called anthropogenic climate change. Climate change happening because of what man is doing, what our species is doing. And this carbon dioxide is released primarily due to energy generation, and that includes electricity generation. When it comes to the sources that release the maximum carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, energy generation comes first and animal agriculture comes second. So when you want to generate electricity, if you're doing it through fossil fuel, so there is gas, there is petrol, diesel, coal, all of these constitute fossil fuels. So if you burn fossil fuel to generate electricity or energy, then you are bound to release CO2 in the atmosphere. So we pledged, we said that we won't generate our electricity using fossil fuels. We said we would rather use non-fossil fuels. So that is then counted as renewable energy or green energy or clean energy. So it looks all good that now India has 50% of its installed electricity generation capacity coming from non-fossil sources. Sounds really good. So does that mean that we are doing well? We are suddenly green? That we are sincere towards climate? Let's see. First thing, installed capacity is not the same as generation. Installed capacity means what our electricity plants could potentially produce, not what they actually do. Now, what is actually happening? The fact is, coal still generates 72% of India's electricity. And as you know, coal is the dirtiest fuel when it comes to the environment and the climate. 72% of our actual electricity generation still comes from coal. Solar and wind, barely 12-13%. Hydro, 10%. Nuclear, less than 3%. So I ask you, can we call ourselves a renewable energy nation when coal is still the king? Point 2. Non-fossil is not always clean. Non-fossil does sound attractive, but do you know what it includes? Solar and wind, yes, but also nuclear and large hydro dams. Hydro, as you might know, has displaced millions of villagers, drowned entire forests, and even emits methane. And the greenhouse potential of methane is 20 times that of carbon dioxide. Should all of this be called green, or is it just convenient labeling? Point 3. India's emissions are actually rising fast. In 2023, we released 3 billion tons of carbon dioxide, making us the third largest emitter in the world. And yet, look at our vulnerability. Heat waves last year hit 23 states. Floods now displace tens of millions every year. Agriculture, on which more than half of India still survives, is at the mercy of the climate. I ask you, is this a victory or rather a warning? Point 4. Even as we want to celebrate our theoretically installed renewable or green capacity, the horrible fact is that coal in India is actually growing. Coal is not declining. India consumed a record 1.2 billion tons of coal in 2023. What's more, hold your breath, over 20 gigawatts of new coal plants are still being built. Then tell me, does that milestone in installed capacity change our coal addiction? Yes, the 50% target has been theoretically reached early, but the real challenge remains untouched. The real challenge was to cut dependence on coal, and we have hardly done anything on that. The real challenge was to actually reduce carbon emissions. The real challenge was to actually protect ourselves from the climate crisis that is already burning our fields and flooding our homes. Otherwise, these numbers that we want to brandish are just entertaining statistics. And the punishment to my beloved country will just keep getting harsher. Just download the Acharya Prashant app, and there you go to the community section, and you have live testimonials streaming in at the rate of 1 every 5 minutes. I'm seeing lives change in thousands, if not millions, every day in front of my own eyes. We are doing it. Right. We have actually done it.
Join the community of more than 2 lakh participants on the Acharya Prashant app. Your first month is completely free. You'll get full access to Gita Mission. On the app, you will get regular live sessions, daily exclusive conversations with Acharya Prashant, access to the vibrant Gita community, wisdom exams, curated news, audiobooks, quotes, and much more. Search Acharya Prashant on Google Play Store or Apple App Store and download now.